Hello, Christine. So today I'm going to ask you some questions about Fastmove and why people should choose you. So the first question really is the main one: why should people choose Fastmove over any other estate agent?
Well, first I'd like to thank you for the opportunity in this interview, and I appreciate your questions. And I understand, I think a lot of people now are saying, why use Fastmove to sell your property? There's a number of answers for that really. First thing is the price. This day and age, we all know everything is price driven. Okay, so everyone wants good value for money. We are to sell your house with Fastmove, irrespective of the price of the property. It's a £600 commission on completion. So it's no sale, no fee, and you only pay Fastmove when you sell your property. Don't know if you've done some research yourselves, but some of the big boys out there like Purple Bricks charge a fee, but that might be a fee of say 800 quid, but you pay that irrespective or not, whether they sell the property or whether they don't. Okay,
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because recently my sister was selling a property and she had a quite look at a few different, obviously, estate agents, and they all want money up front. So obviously, I just asked her about whether she'd heard about yourself. She said she hadn't, and that's the main reason for me coming for the interview today, is wanting to know some more information like you put. You basically give us the information what we needed there as to that it's on completion, which I believe obviously customers should be shouting out for, because you're doing all the work for them to get it over the line, and that's the only time they actually pay. And that just sounds amazing compared to everybody else.
Or would you pay a builder before they build your house?
No,
There's your answer.
that's why it makes
And
sense.
that's how I always say to the customer. So hopefully you're going to go away and tell your sister to come and sell with us, yeah? I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely, no, yes, definitely.
So apart from that though, not joking apart, we're also open 7 days a week. So I'm sure people say that I'm very repetitive on Instagram, Facebook, I'm boring. However, I can't stress the importance of it. We're open from 8 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, 7 days a week. No one in this industry opens those kind of hours. Again, something that I say all the time, you're building a business on the internet. The internet is a 24/7 platform, hence one of its huge successes. How can you build a business working 9 to 5 on a platform 24/7? Doesn't make sense. We operate as many hours as we can, incorporating the internet's opening hours. Does that make sense?
Is that also as well, just because, as you mentioned, 9 to 5 there, what most people do work 9 to 5. So obviously a lot of estate agents are only open 9 to 5. So when do they have opportunity to actually speak to the clientele and the vendors? Is that the main reason for you staying open later?
You hit the nail on the head. If you're at work behind your desk and you went to view a property the previous evening, the last thing you want is for an estate agent to be bothering you, your phone vibrating at your desk, your boss telling you off, asking for your opinion on the property. So we do a lot of business, take a lot of offers. Look at our Instagram. We sell properties, 8:30 at night, because that's when people are at home, they're with their partners, they're in the right mindset. Also, they're entitled to probably make the right decision. They're not going to change their mind because you're not catching them on the hop. So it's a lot more, it's just more of a successful story, and it's a nicer experience for the buyer and a more dynamic experience for the seller.
And obviously, we noticed a lot of, obviously on your like Instagram posts you set on Fastmove and stuff like that. Obviously, you do quite offer like a friendly service, and it's more informal than it is formal, and not as much a shirt and tie business, and people feel like under pressure to sell with you. Would you say that's been an advantage to yourself over other estate agents?
I think that's a fantastic question and very well thought out. What I will say is, and I'll be careful how I answer this, is that I think it's very important, whatever you do in business, that you have an adaptable personality. Okay, and what I mean by that is I think people's expectations from a business are very, very different and how they're approached. Some people like more of an informal approach, a bit more of a relaxed approach. Other people don't, they want a bit more of a formal approach. Whatever you get, we try to think we're adaptable and we work out our customer and how they want. So some people want, it's selling their house, they want to be approached with sensitivity, some of them, because they're very respectful of their property. They don't want to just be steamrolled, they want to be respected. It's the biggest asset that 95% of people will ever own is your house. So it's all about adapting to the customer and how they want to be dealt with. And we analyse that as quickly as we can, and we put that into my colleagues. It's hugely important. You're not rigid, you don't just talk from a script, you adapt to how they want you to approach them and speak to them. It's so important.
So does the value of a property, as well as the way the person portrays himself to you on the phone determine how you then approach that situation?
No, not really. No, not really. I think it's more about the customer themselves. You can work it out yourself when you speak to someone. Again, you've got to be very careful how I answer this, and I think you know where I'm coming from. But just be adaptable. I think you've got to be adaptable to your customer. You know, for example, an elderly couple who have had their house for 50 years, how proud are they going to be of that property? How many hours work will they have done? They probably don't have a mortgage on the house. So they'll be so, and also they might be quite naive because they may have not sold a house for 50 years. So you've got to approach it with huge sensitivity. Don't be rigid, don't be just bombastic. And they'll respect it. People who say, I won't use the word professionals because we're all professional and all work, but people who are hard to get hold of and constantly on the go, they just want more of a dynamic conversation. They want to be on the phone, they want to know what they're doing, what their offers are and off, because time is so important to them. And it's just about that.
Yeah, I mean that just puts me at ease. I mean, obviously, just that question for myself is just thinking about like sort of my grandma, for instance, if she was to sell, would the person be adapting to her and not just trying to get a hard sell because, as you say, she could have been naive. I'm not saying that she is, obviously, my nan, but she could have been. So obviously that just puts me like my mind at ease, and I'm pretty sure it will put like quite a lot of the viewers in my minds at ease when coming to you, and even if they have to deal with it falling on because obviously it's hard hearing or something like that, they'll just be a bit more respectful that you're actually putting a lot of time and effort into it rather than some of the statements out there that just want to get the sale through and over the line.
Correct. Absolutely. So does that all make sense?
Oh, it makes sense to me, and that's been brilliant, Christian. So that's just hopefully it's answered all my questions, definitely. Hopefully it's answered anybody else's questions that's out there. And I thank you very much for your time today.